Hello and welcome to CMS Forex News. I'm market analyst Nick Nassad. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, 2008. We start with fundamental data from Europe. Activity in the Eurozone manufacturing sector was in contraction for the fourth straight month in September, preliminary data showed today. The manufacturing PMI index fell to 45.3 this month from 47.6 in August, which was far below economists' forecasts. It is the fastest pace of contraction in almost 7 years. Companies are scaling back production as credit dries up and both domestic and foreign demand cools in the face of slowing economic growth, both at home and abroad. The services PMI came in at 48.2, which was lower than in August, but slightly higher than expectations. In Germany, both its manufacturing and services sectors contracted in September, preliminary data showed. The manufacturing PMI fell to 48.1, which was lower than August's 49.7 and lower than economists' forecasts. It was the second consecutive month that the manufacturing has contracted, and the 48.1 was actually a record low for the index. The services PMI declined to 49.3 in September from 51.4 in August, which puts the sector into contraction for the first time in 7 months. Eurozone industrial new orders rebounded by 1% in July compared with the previous month, where orders were down 0.5%. On the year, orders were up 1.6%, with both figures surprising forecasts on the upside. The euro-dollar pair fell from yesterday's highs following the strong moves seen the last 2 sessions, which amounted to almost a 660 pip swing. The euro rally may have been overextended and following the weaker Eurozone PMI data the euro weekend. By the afternoon New York session, the pair had dropped about 180 pips from today's open to settle a low near 1.4620. In the UK, the number of mortgages approved in August was similar to July's low level, reported the British Bankers Association. Approvals fell slightly to 21.1 thousand. Mortgage lending rose only by £2.1 billion, less than half the average rise over the previous 6 months. The data suggests activity in the housing sector remains anemic, with few loans being procured to finance home purchases. Until there is a recovery in housing, the UK economy will continue to suffer. Despite the weaker UK housing data, the euro-pound pair fell in favor of the pound, as the weak news from the Eurozone overshadowed the UK release. The pair ran up against resistance yesterday near 0.7980, but today the pair fell 70 pips as speculation increased that the ECB will have to be more dovish going forward if the economy falls into recession. In the U.S., a government measure of national housing prices did not show a bottom. Housing prices dropped 0.6% on the month, which was a steeper fall than expected, and prices were down 5.3% on the year. The Richmond Fed manufacturing index declined in September, staying negative for the 5th straight month, and the outlook for the coming 6 months waned as well. The overall index fell to negative 18, with all the major sub-indexes showing declines. There was a significant easing in prices received, which should temper inflation. Also, spare capacity seems to be widening, which will work further to stabilize prices. In Canada, consumer inflation eased 0.2% in August, mainly due to a 2.1% decline on the month for transportation costs. The annual rate rose to 3.5%, the highest since March of 2003. Gasoline prices led that increase, with a 26.3% climb compared to a year ago. The US dollar-Canadian dollar pair traded pretty calm today, finding support at 1.03. In a long-term view, we see that this level acted as resistance throughout most of 2008 until the greenback broke above it in August. The next couple of days will be crucial to see if this area now acts as support or if the loonie continues to gain on the greenback and breaks back into its range from the summer. Commodity prices were down today after surging in yesterday's session. Gold was off $18 and oil prices were down $3.75 as of 2:30 p.m. Eastern, which caused the Aussie-US dollar pair to fall about 150 pips from its open, reversing some of the steep gains seen the last 3 sessions. In a look at a more exotic currency, the US dollar South African rand pair saw a sharp jump today as political turmoil raised concerns among investors. Several cabinet members resigned to protest the ousting of South Africa's president over the weekend, including the finance minister Trevor Manuel. Tonight, Japan releases its BSI measure of large manufacturing activity for the third quarter. That is followed overnight by Germany's IFO Business Climate Index, the Eurozone Current Account, and the UK CBI Distributive Trade Survey. Tomorrow's fundamental docket is light, with only the US existing home sales release on tap. And that wraps up this edition of CMS News. Please join us tomorrow right here at cmsfx.com.